Hello, Professor. This is Prakash Palvai. Today I'm presenting about hijacking safe programs with Trojans. So, untrusted hardware threat. Untrusted hardware threats involve supply chain Trojans that compromise processes during manufacturing, undermining software enforced security. Software security relies on the assured integrity of a universal processor logic. If compromised, processors may execute malicious instructions and access controls. The consequences include data breaches, service disruptions, and erosion of trust. Mitigation strategies encompass rigorous supply chain security, hardware level security features, and regular audits to detect and to address potential compromises, emphasizing the critical need to safeguard computing systems against the threats. Like compiler-based security deactivation. Like Gin Trojan disables compiler-based security, compromising software safety. A single compromised bit through the Trojans exposes type-safe software to memory safety attacks. Gin Trojans constitute a novel class of malware targeting general-purpose hardware, enabling adaptable and potent high-level risk attacks. The contamination of hardware disrupts traditional security mechanisms, posing a serious cybersecurity threat. The compromise of compiler-level defenses undermine the integrity of the entire software system. The emerging risk emphasizes the need for advanced security measures and vigilance against evolving threats. So, increasing complexity and outsourcing. Like the escalating complexity of modern system on chips necessitates businesses to resort to third-party property for outsourcing the design of hardware blocks. Like outsourcing offers advantages such as specialized expertise and optimized designs. However, this approach introduces a notable risk: the heightened possibility of malicious logic infiltration into the supply network during the design phase. This vulnerability arises due to the intricate nature of SOCs and the involvement of external entities. Striking a balance between leveraging outsourcing benefits and safeguarding against security threats becomes paramount in the dynamic landscape of semiconductor development. Vigilance, robust verification process, and strategic risk management are essential to mitigate the potential risks associated with the dual challenges of increasing complexity and outsourcing SOC design. So, design time Trojan hardware components like the emergence of design time Trojans poses a serious threat to the integrity of system on chips, where malicious design hours or rogue designers can clumsily insert Trojans into hardware components during the design phase. This insidious practice introduces vulnerabilities that may compromise the security of assembled SOCs. Design time Trojans operate covertly until activated during runtime, whereas they manipulate processor behavior to facilitate various attacks. Like examples include the unauthorized disclosure of cryptographic keys or the execution of code in advantage modes, potentially leading to severe security breaches. Safeguarding against design time Trojan necessitates robust measures such as through vetting of design sources, continuous monitoring during the design process, and the implementation of runtime detection mechanisms to identify and neutralize Trojans before they can cause harm. Like challenges in Trojan design. Like designing effective Trojan presents several challenges, particularly in evading software enforced protection policies, like accuracy in instruction differentiation. Like the challenge is Trojans must accurately distinguish between instructions that enforce security measures and those that do not. Like significance is precision is crucial to avoid detection and ensure the Trojan's effectiveness in bypassing security policies, limitations in modifying security critical content. Uh, like the challenge in the limitations modifying security critical content is that designers may face constraints limiting their ability to make these changes to blocks of content crucial for security. Like impact is like, the Trojans might be constrained to modify for non-security critical elements, making them harder to detect, but potentially limiting their overall impact on security. Like adaptability across software versions, that is also one of the challenge. Like Trojans need to be adaptable and not over rely tied to specific software versions to remain effective on different patches and updates. Like the requirement ensuring Trojans maintain efficacy despite software changes necessitates a level of generic adaptability to software variations. Like addressing these challenges requires sophisticated strategies and a deep understanding of software and security architectures. Trojans that are successfully navigate these hurdles can pose a significant threat by serving software enforcement protection policies without triggering alarms or compromising their own functionality. Like challenge of adaptability. Uh, like Standard hardware attacks are not adaptable and break when an application is updated. By focusing on compiler-based environments, print Trojans adjust and remain effective despite changes. Like step-by-step attack scenario, like manipulating hardware bounds check, like identity of a vulnerability. Like initiation, the attack identifies as an upcoming malicious hardware bounds check vulnerability within the target system. Like delivery of payload, like execution, a malicious payload is delivered to the system within the intent to alter the established bond check mechanism. Like memory safety vulnerable, like exploitation of the memory safety vulnerabilities within the bond check altered. The attacker exploits memory safety vulnerabilities by executing within the manipulated inputs. The machine code limitation is also that attack does take advantage of the conceptual gap introduced by the lack of high-level information in machine code. This makes it challenging for traditional security measures to detect the manipulation. This step-by-step scenario outlines the progression of an attack where the identification and manipulation of a hardware boundary check create an avenue for exploiting memory safe vulnerabilities. The introduction of a conceptual gap arising from the inherent limitations of machine code further complicates the detection and mitigation of the attack. So ASLR and its impact. So ASLR, so by definition, so address space layout randomization is a security technique that randomizes the memory address of a key system components, making it challenging for attackers to predict the location of specific functions or vulnerabilities. So the increased difficulty for gin attacks. So challenge is that ASLR significantly enhance the difficulty of gin attacks where Trojans adapt to changing environments. Like randomizing base address disrupts the predictability needed for effective gym Trojan execution. Like interactive trigger complexity is also one of the thing. Like the impact is that the application of interactive triggers in gin attacks become more complex uh, due to ASLR. Observing and understanding the randomized base addresses becomes a necessary step for successful exploitation. Like a like if we see the exposure of ASLR offsets like vulnerability, memory disclosure attacks may expose ASLR offsets, potentially revealing the randomized addresses. So prevention by safe programming languages like the countermeasure memory disclosure attacks are often uh, thwarted by safe programming languages, adding a layer of protection against the exposure of ASLR offsets. So enhanced security with ASLR, like overall benefits, ASLR strengthens overall system security by introducing variability in memory layouts, reducing the likelihood of successful gene attacks, and making it harder for attackers to exploit vulnerabilities. Like understanding the impacts of ASLR highlights its role in mitigating certain types of attacks, like including those that gene trojans may attempt. However, the persistence of potential vulnerabilities such as memory disclosure attacks underscores the ongoing need for measures to safeguard against evolving threats. So, tools and recognize process. So, the attacker deploys tools like ROP gadget, Angroup, and GDP for recognize and aiming to decipher the memory architecture of a binary. So, using ROP gadgets and symbolic execution with Angroup, the attacker observes and analyzes the binary behavior, identifying potential devices for control or hijacking. GDP aids in interactive exploration, setting breakpoints, and inspecting runtime states. The next process involves pinpointing vulnerable functions or data structure, like control flow hijacking targets are selected based on identified devices within the memory architecture. Like the attack employs stealth techniques to avoid detection during process. Like concentration is given to adapting to countermeasures like ASLR and DEP. The iterative nature of reconnaissance requires continuous refinement. Like the overall objective is to manipulate the execution path, emphasizing the complexity of control flow hijacking attacks. Like robust security measures are crucial to detect and prevent such sophisticated exploits. So Trojan's impact. So real world vulnerabilities were discovered in Rust code in Servo, Mozilla's Web Engine, and the Redux operating system. Both instances exhibited memory safety flaws, providing potential openings for gene trojans to exploit. The vulnerabilities emphasize the crucial impact of memory safety issues on the security of Rust code. The Servo Web Engine and Redux operating system case underscore the need for robust security practices in Rust development. Developers should prioritize through code reviews and leverage Rust safety lectures to mitigate risk. These instances contribute to industry-wide evolving threat landscape. Proactive security measures are crucial to detect and address vulnerabilities and protect against sophisticated trojans like Jin. So advantages. So the Trojan strategically manipulates push operation branch locations, creating a false data size impression and inducing incorrect writes beyond the data buffer set. This introduces a memory safety flaw via the Jin Trojan, revealing a significant attack vector. The attacker gains control through a manipulative interface, enabling unauthorized data manipulation. The impact extends beyond deception, compromising data integrity and eroding trust in the affected system. The attack showcases the sophisticated exploitation of memory safety vulnerabilities that emphasize the need for robust defenses. The Trojan precision in manipulating data size and branch location highlights its sophistication. Like mitigating such Trojans requires addressing memory safety flaws and preventing unauthorized writes. The attack underscores ongoing challenges in cybersecurity defense against evolving threats. So, assumption and risk. The Trojan excels in payload delivery accuracy due to the effectiveness of its interactive trigger. It achieves concealed detection by strategically hiding in the state space, especially within the size of general purpose registers. This stealth mechanism reduces susceptibility to conventional security tools, avoiding anomaly detection. The Trojans focus on precise targeting, maximizes the impact on specific objectives. Like adaptability is enhanced through the dynamic response of the interactive trigger, contributing to the Trojan's availability. Resource efficiency is achieved by minimizing its footprints through state space hiding. The Trojan strategically evades pattern recognition, obscuring recognizable patterns from detection systems. The overall combination of accuracy and concealed detection makes the Trojan a potent and effective threat in the cybersecurity landscape. So, design time versus fabrication time Trojans. Assuming software stability, the Trojan risks causing crashes due to out of bounds protected accesses. Testing or using applications on the Trojan implanted systems introduces the potential for crashes, impacting system reliability. Trojan induced out of bounds errors due testing may reveal unresolved memory safety issues, exposing the Trojan's interference. The hidden Trojan impact may obscure true risk to system security and performance. Deployment on a system with the Trojan introduces vulnerabilities exploitable by the Trojan. Unpredictable software behavior, data corruption, and compromised functionality may result from the Trojan-induced errors. Undetected memory safety errors pose an ongoing risk, allowing the Trojan to operate covertly. Relying on software stability assumptions introduces systematic weaknesses exploited by the Trojan. Trojan-induced crashes may lead to significant security breaches or disruptions. Robust testing and monitoring practices are essential to mitigate risks, ensuring system security and reliability. Like uh, the focus on future development. Like hardware trojans are categorized as design time and fabrication time based on their creation period. Design time trojans operate during the design phase, restricted to smaller IP blocks and leveraging higher level hardware descriptions. Like fabrication time trojans are introduced during manufacturing, having the capability to manipulate any part of the system on chip. Design time trojans may strategically place within smaller IP blocks, utilizing access to higher level descriptions. Fabrication time trojans enjoy greater freedom, but constraints imposed by reverse engineering during manufacturing. The size of manipulated components differ, with design time trojans focusing on smaller blocks. So, fabrication time trojans can potentially impact larger and critical components, like detection and mitigation of both Trojan times pose distinct challenges, emphasizing the need for robust security measures throughout the hardware development and manufacturing lifecycle. So exploration and development. So like there is a continued exploration, like exploring gene trojans in fabrication time circumstances in the future, which helps in this. So mitigation strategies are also there, like investigation into practical mitigation techniques for this new breed of hardware trojans. Like like overview of conclusion. Uh, so novel approach. So by targeting the security guarantees of type safe language programming, gene trojans reshape the environment. So, and the other one is proven effectiveness. So, in real world application, basically it demonstrates how well the Trojans compromise software security regulations. And the other one is non-security critical placement. Like Trojans, usually in computer parts that are typically not security critical, cast doubt on accept security theories. Uh, like this is the overview of the conclusion. Like it's about the novel approach, or it's about the proven effectiveness and non-security critical placement. So when it comes to the previous slide, like while I was discussing about this exploration and development, so these are the places where the research is going on. Like this like hardware trojans, basically, like I said before, it's because of the design time and fabrication, categorized as this design time and fabrication time based on the creation period. Uh, like it, fabrication time trojans are introduced during manufacturing. So these are the things where exploration is going on and development is being made. Uh, and the size of the manipulated component differs with design time programs focusing on smaller blocks. Uh, yeah, so when it comes to last slide, like I said, an overview of conclusion, it's about the novel approach, where by targeting the security guarantees of type safe language programming, gene trojans, uh, reshape the environment, provide effectiveness. Like I said, the real world application demonstrates how well the Trojans compromise software security regulations. And the last one is, non-security critical placement, Trojans in computer parts that are typically cast out, not security critical, cast out on accepted security theories. So this is my presentation, Professor. Uh, Thank you.